All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we'll be diving into the crypto gaming and NFT gaming landscape of the future. As I really want to set the stage, like my market thesis is really generally the same. I'm not really looking to get involved. I think we're really seeing a little bit of a fake out today in the markets, if I'm going to be completely honest. I'll talk about that in just a second. But I want to talk about why, even though we've been in a bear market for almost 11 months at this point, coming up here in a couple of days, it was last Thanksgiving, really, since we've seen nothing but downward trajectory in the markets, 11 months into this bear market. But the one sector that really isn't having a bear market, if you look between the lines, is crypto gaming. And I'm going to explain my thesis on why this is going to be the most disruptive part of the industry on the other side, as the full-blown Web 2 gaming VC industry has come in to the Web 3 side, as it is ripe for disruption. Some of the biggest tech players, biggest game developers. I'll talk about my thesis and more in this edition. Without further ado, let's get in the game.
T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't a cent. If you ain't here to hustle, why is you here? But if you here to hustle, the moon is near. It's crypto Banter, not financial advice. If you don't listen, what's the cost, what's the price? This ain't a game, put you on game. I know we gon' play, but ain't here to play. If you get lost, show you the way.
All right, and let's dive right into it. Be sure to drop down and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And if you're as bullish as me in the future of NFT gaming, crypto games, as well as the Metaverse, as well, subscribe to the channel for videos here every single day on Crypto Banter. And be sure to check out all of our official sponsors here on In the Game. Myria, one of the leading Web3 gaming studios, L2s, and platforms in the world. Animoca Brands, the biggest Web3 gaming company in the world. Unix Gaming, one of the leading Web3 gaming infrastructures in the entire space. MEXC, the official exchange of the In the Game show. And Spintop, leading the way with their Gamepedia, with their Guildmaker platform, the all-in-one GameFi index over at Spintop. You can check out more information on all of our sponsors down below in the description. Let's dive into the markets, as we're seeing a little bit of green over the last 24 hours, but I'm not really getting any giddiness. I'm not feeling FOMO here, because I think that these are all just little rebounds on the way down to that eventual bottom. Obviously, if you have a really long-term perspective, a $19,000 Bitcoin, which is where we're at right now, is probably, a good value in a few years down the line. But I do think you're probably going to see a little bit better prices, especially considering, Polygon's up 2x plus since its bear market lows still. Some of these projects, I do still think we get lower prices due to the boiling points in the U.S. economically, U.S., China. I don't think the real estate bubble's really popped yet, so to speak. That usually happens a little bit after the traditional markets have taken their hits. So we're going to kind of see this play out, and I don't think we've seen that bottom for this cycle. Long term, if you're getting into those top projects like an Ethereum, a Bitcoin, a Polygon that doesn't have a very high, fully diluted market cap, but has tons of high-level partners, there's maybe not as much risk in today's prices. But at the same time, if you want those value DCAs, if you have that conviction and patience to wait, I think that patience will pay off and you'll get those DCA points that you're looking for. I'm not deploying any capital into the markets at this moment. I'm still just stacking cash flow, stacking stable coins for the eventual deployment when I go in lump sums on DCAs into my top conviction projects. I'll obviously be along the entire way while we do so here on Crypto Banter. But it is never financial advice. I love just giving you the playbook and exactly what I'm looking at inside the markets. But this show is more to just really get in between the lines and read, why is crypto gaming going to be the most disruptive sector in all of NFTs and crypto coming out of the other side of this bear market? So even though we're seeing all this downward trajectory, Bitcoin and the markets have been nothing but south basically since November 24th or so of last year in 2021, after the meta boom, after we saw crypto games really just real benefactor of last cycle, The development has only doubled and tripled since then. We're seeing Polygon, as aforementioned, partnering up with some of the biggest companies in the world, from Disney to Amazon to Mercedes to DraftKings. They have so many top-level partners, so many top-level games, and these are real-world partners. They're going to be officially integrated into Meta, the first leader in the metaverse. Zuckerberg was the first mover, completely flipped Facebook into Meta. Like, this will be integrated into those high-level technologies, Starbucks loyalty program. So in my opinion, these are disruptive technologies that are going to be put into real world businesses first and foremost. We're already seeing it unfold with these top projects, but that's just on a surface level, right? Like what Polygon's doing and what Sandbox are doing, with the partnerships that they're bringing in, the amount of people coming to build in the metaverse, that speaks for itself. But let's actually look in between the lines here, right? So Epic Games recently, $2 billion investment into the metaverse. We all know that Epic Games has the biggest metaverse product in the world already under their umbrella in Fortnite. Fortnite is one of the biggest revenue-generating microtransactions skin games in the world. Obviously, Fortnite, we look at the Fortnite live player count. They have 952,000 players at this very moment. They have 250 million players every single month on Fortnite. So the adoption here is obviously proven. Fortnite has a captured model. You can literally use every character under the sun. You can be LeBron James. You can be Darth Vader. You can be Goku you can be anyone you want. You can literally be anyone you want. And you can be Naruto. It is the biggest and most proven metaverse product in the world. And we're actually seeing them putting $2 billion into the metaverse. This is definitely seeds for them to eventually, all Epic Games has to do is test out NFT games coming to their platform. They're already doing that. They announced Grit, Imposters, Star Atlas, Blanco's Block Party, Forge Arena from Wax Blockchain. These games are going to be launched on the Epic Games store. Superior will be on there. Gala Games just announced today that Steam is launching Superior underneath their umbrella. Like, we're seeing these distribution platforms starting to test the waters. They're willing to accept Web3 games on their platform. Now, this is a test. This is a test. What Epic Games can eventually do is they're going to go in there and they're just going to put one pack for sale. One skin, Luke Skywalker skin. I'm just example. They do a Luke Skywalker skin from Star Wars, and they sell it one skin as an NFT. And I guarantee it would fly off the shelves. It would sell like crazy. They would understand that the resale value, the amount of money that these games actually make on the back end. So when Fortnite sells you a skin right now in traditional games, it's one touch point on both ends. You don't have any way to monetize it. That's legit. You could go through a black market website and try to sell your account to somebody, but that's not trustless like crypto is. The blockchain, decentralization, it makes the process seamless. A transaction, it's immutable. It's there. It's undisputable, and you own the asset. But from a developer standpoint, Epic Games could sell you a Fortnite skin, and then there's more than one touch point. You sell it to someone else. They sell it to someone else. Epic Games sells a skin for 30 days as an NFT. After it's done, only it can be resold. They're making revenue on every single sale, just like OpenSea makes revenue on every single sale on their platform. This model is what the future will turn into, and I could almost guarantee it. Like, my conviction on this ideology is probably more solid. My conviction couldn't be more solid than it is today. And when you read these headlines, you have to understand the products at play and the money they're already making. Subscriptions, downloadable content, and microtransactions, which is exactly what Fortnite skins are. For example, Warzone skins, Apex Legends, anything in the world that you buy a digital transaction on your mobile app, when it says fingerprint to pay or Face ID to pay or anything like that, you're committing a microtransaction inside an app, inside of a game, and that made up for 60% of last year's revenue in video game sales. People don't buy video games. They're all free to play now. Other than like Call of Duty, these games are free to play. Fortnite, Apex, Warzone, you can download them and play absolutely free. They make their money when you give them your money for assets that you don't own. And this is why Web3 gaming will flip the industry on its head when players actually get around to the point that they can monetize their time, monetize their inventory, more than just having to grind. Only 0.1% of players in any gaming ecosystem make money. Those are the top level streamers. Think of Nick Merckx, XQC, Huskers, etc., or the esports pros who are just better than everyone, but they're putting in crazy, crazy hours. This gives power to everybody. I mean, imagine you walk into your son's room. When I was a kid, my mom was like, get off the video games. Now they're going to walk in and be like, keep playing the video games so you can make more money. Like, it's going to flip the industry on its head. Kids are given pacifiers. Their pacifiers these days are iPads. So imagine if they're on the iPad all day anyway, they can just make some money off of an app, an NFT game. This is the type of disruption that's on the way where this could actually be monetized. That's actually a powerful tool. I spent a lot of time on that as a kid, right? I don't particularly play video games. I don't have the time to play video games as much as when I was 13 years old, right? So when I was 13 years old, I would have loved to turn all of that into cash, all the camos, skins, and stuff I was acquiring. That would have been a game changer for me. But that amount of time that I put in back then, I can't put that same amount of time in these days. So it's a technology that I wish we had back in the day and that I think will be implemented in the future. And when you look at also the projections of these industries, guys, the biggest banks and institutions in the world are projecting the metaverse to be between $5 and $13 trillion. That's a $13 trillion industry potentially, as Citibank says. Goldman Sachs thinks it's going to be an $8 trillion industry. I mean, the money, the smart money is looking at the metaverse. And even though, metaverse might not be the technology that you want to spend every day in, but I think the monetizable ability of this industry is bar none one of the highest growth sectors in the world. When you're looking at Zuckerberg, Apple's, even though Tim Cook says AR is the future, I think that AR is just a part of the tech of the metaverse, and I think the metaverse is more of an ideology. We're living in the metaverse right now. This is the best metaverse in the world, right? Life. So everything you dive into, these virtual experiences, these open worlds, they're all metaverses. And I think that that will absolutely have its disruptive path in the future, right alongside blockchain gaming. And it doubles down when you look at the financing. When over the first half of the year, we've talked about this stat before, that over 50% of the money from VCs coming into this industry, it's Web3 gaming. Like, imagine being a normal venture capitalist sitting at a board of directors table with your partners and being like, all right, guys, we have 10 games to look at today. We need to pick the next Fortnite. Like, no, it's not going to happen. That's just never going to happen. And you need to get that ideology out of your head. And that's why they're coming into Web3 games, because there's not a Fortnite. There's not an Apex Legends. There's not a Call of Duty. There's not a Pokemon. Like, this is an industry that's ripe for every bit of disruption. And I would almost just say destruction of the current microtransaction extractionary model that these gaming studios and platforms do have in place, where you buy an asset and you don't own it. And this is exactly why I think this industry has the biggest runway on the other side of the bear market. And let's finish up with this headline, which we're seeing, Limit Break. They raised $200 million back in August. They're going to buy a Super Bowl ad this year. $6.5 million Super Bowl ad coming up for an NFT game. And as we see, one of the founders of Limit Break coming in, the CEO of Limit Break here, saying that they're buying a Super Bowl ad to not only support their game, Digi Daigaku, but also grow the NFT market and promote ETH gaming. This is such a bullish catalyst. 50 million eyes potentially on this. Guys, these are all just the circle of life of why I think that this industry, like I said, is going to flip gaming traditionally on its head. And all it's going to take is an Epic Games launching these games, launch one skin on Fortnite, which I guarantee, I will make the prediction now, timestamp October 17th, today. I will make the prediction that Fortnite will eventually sell a pack that is NFT integrated. I would say within the next couple of years, they'll try that out as a long-term, to protect my prediction here. I think that we will see them do an NFT drop inside the game, one pack. And the second that it sells off the shelves, they will never go back to that traditional model. You'll still be able to buy it with your credit card. But if you want to go online and if you want to resell it, connect your MetaMask and you own those assets. Guys, if you're as bullish on the industry as I am, if you like my thesis, leave your thesis down below in the comments. I'll check out the comments here throughout the day and reply to some of the best comments down below on your thesis on crypto gaming and where this really can go as far as NFT gaming in the metaverse. I'll be back later this week with more shows. As always, play well, my friends.
Mm-hmm.